Hey, what's up? I'm Andrew Bacon with Field Treasure Designs, and I'm in my brand new workshop. It's a single stall garage in our new home in Denver, Colorado, where we just moved. And after being in lots of different workshops over the years and owning different miter saws over the years, I decided to downsize to this new DeWalt 20V lithium-ion battery-powered sliding miter saw. And so I've owned the top-of-the-line DeWalt, I've owned the top-of-the-line Bosch, both 12-inch sliding compound beasts, and I finally decided to downsize and go with the battery-powered. And this is actually a 7 1/4 inch blade, but it does slide, so I think it has a total of 11-inch cut, but I'll confirm that when we open it. But anyways, I want to unbox it and start it up and see what it's like, so let's do this together. All right, here we go. Well, as I expected, the DeWalt packaging is great, and man, the saw is super light. So I pulled out the manual and the dust collector and the clamp there and pulled off the cardboard, and man, so far so good. So all I had to do was cut off the cardboard that kept it in place and prevented it from sliding during shipping. So a quick release of the saw with the button to get it upright, and yeah, with the push of a button, you can rotate the miter into its position. This is exactly like my big DeWalt that I used to have. It's a button press, and then you clamp it down when you have it at your position, and it locks in place across all of the different miter settings. So a quick check of the side bevel going left, and it's really smooth and all good. And I'm great that it's just a single bevel. That's all I needed. It's very smooth and easy to set back upright. To lock it in place, you just twist the dial. Again, very similar to the large size DeWalt. Putting the saw in the lock position is easy just by pressing the button. Here I'm lifting it up and going to test the weight. This thing is so light. It's got the handle on top, the handle on both sides, so it's easy to grab and take with you. At 30 pounds, this is light. So now I'm just going to show around the saw. Click the button, open it up. There's the blade, 7 1/4. Yes, it's awesome. It's just what I need. It's not too big. It's obviously not too small. And yeah, just the basic stuff, it's going to be great to work with. Here's the back. You twist that little knob to slide the sliding mechanism, and it's nice and smooth. It's an 8-inch cut capacity, which I was wrong when I said 11 earlier, and then it's 3.5-inch vertical cut capacity. Here I'm just messing with the overall stability of the saw. It sits really well. I mean, to make it better, you could screw it down through the holes and attach it to your workbench, but I think it's stable enough to work with most pieces that I'm going to cut. So I invested in a 5 amp-hour battery for this saw, and yeah, it's that simple. You just slide it in the back right there. It clicks in like any battery power tool, and boom, you're ready to go. So now I'm going to fire it up for the first time. I was really curious at how loud this would be. Wow, not loud at all. Pretty awesome. Now I'm going to grab my earmuffs just to keep my ears safe now that I've heard it. And there's a few things to note. One, there's a safety switch for the trigger mechanism, which is kind of nice. And then there's a light switch that you can manually turn on and off the light if you want the light without pulling the trigger. Now I'm ready to use this thing for real, but first I'm hooking it up to my dust collection, which as you can see here is pretty easy. The nozzle I had fit this saw perfectly, so I didn't even have to have an adapter. So I've got to cut a few boards for a project of mine, and I want to show you what it's like to have the saw on a workbench with no supports. And it's not too bad at all because it doesn't go that high off the workbench. And so here's how the light looks if you're wanting to line up the blade. The DeWalt is famous for having that awesome shadow, which shows you where the blade is going to cut. I ended up getting some supports you can see my wood is resting on. And yeah, I'm just lining up the shadow on my line where I need to make the cut. It's really handy. By the way, I've got my vacuum already turned on, and here is the first cut. Awesome. Look at that. So clean. Here's what's crazy. Like no sawdust at all. Could not believe how great my dust collection and this saw works together. Now that I've got some better lighting, I want to show you the deck a little bit closer. So that's a piece with the shadow. You can see it's a little hard in the video, but it leaves a line that really helps you line up. The light does go off automatically on this saw because it's battery powered, but you can turn it on manually. And here's the bevel again. It slides to the left really easily. That's how it looks. And yeah, man, I'm loving this little guy. Here's a quick look at that shadow and line again. Now the light keeps flashing because of the video. It doesn't obviously do that, but this is why I love the DeWalt. The shadow that it puts over that blade to help you line up your line is perfect. Hope this helps. So I have a few more cuts to do, so I'll knock these out and fast forward it, and then let's check and see how the battery life is. By the way, this stock blade is cutting super clean so far. Look at those edges. Barely any tear out at all. So a quick check of the battery after a few cuts and full charge. Perfect. So in between recording my review and producing the video, I had another project with a 2x12 and a 2x6. So I grabbed my camera to film it to show you how the saw works with a workpiece that needs to be cut that's way wider than its cutting capacity. As you can see, it cuts right through that 2x12, no problem at all. Also, you can probably tell I've improved my shop lighting tremendously. Then you just flip your workpiece over and line it up, and this saw cuts really square. Boom, 2x12 cut with a 7 1/4 inch blade on a battery powered miter saw. Awesome. Now here's cutting a 2x6. Man, this DeWalt 20V battery powered 7 1/4 inch miter saw is awesome. It only weighs 30 pounds. It's super portable. It gets the job done. It cuts with speed and accuracy. I love it. I hope this video was helpful. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and stay connected, and I'll see you on the next video.